It's a Saturday today and it is going to be a very productive day, I'm hoping. First off, I need to deal with my freaking blemish skin problem. I think it started when I'm just going to the gym a lot and I'm like not cleaning my face properly. I just need to be doing that and haven't been doing that properly, so I'm like breaking out like a shit ton. I don't like it. I need to be dealing with that with a mask. I'm hoping it will help. I don't know. Nothing else has helped so far, so I'm placing my hopes on this Pure Clay Blemish Rescue Mask. If you watched my previous vlog, you'd know that I am embarking on a search of a new job. So this starts today. My main task for today is to basically update my CV. Now this is going to be, I just hate doing that, you guys. I really don't like updating CVs. In fact, because I've been working here for 3.5 years, well, in the company I work for at the moment, my previous CV doesn't have much, especially because I was a musician, full-time musician for 6 years before that. So this office job was my real true experience, company where I grew and all that. So it's not as outstanding of a CV, if you may. I'll have to like populate it with as much stuff as possible, and I just really don't like doing that. Really don't like doing that. But it has to be done, because if I don't have a CV, I'm not gonna get a job. It'll most probably take up half of my day. I was also thinking, I just literally went outside for a second to have my coffee on a swing, and it was so nice breathing in the fresh air, and I started to dream about just working outside, you know, in the garden. I don't have to work in my room all the time. I can like transfer my laptop to anywhere I want, including the garden, or like going out to a coffee shop or something if I'm that inspired, you know, if I'm in the mood. I may do some work, update my CV today, for example, in the backyard. Just so nice outside. The weather started to be way better, not cold today at all. It's a little bit windy, but it's like warming, so it's fine. Doing this mask is the first task. Updating my CV is the second most important task. I also am planning on cleaning out the backyard. We have a shit ton of leaves that have fallen that I need to get rid of, and I will finally unroll the turf and see what it's like, what it looks like. I might actually do it in a bit because I'm very curious about that. But I'm kind of trying to prioritize the CV task first. I'm just gonna spend a couple of hours updating my CV and then move over to doing the physical outside stuff. Oh, hey Mia. Doing the turf, cleaning the garden, and I also need to go to the gym. But before that, the most important task for today is, actually I may do it right now, like after this, is I need to do my massage. I need to massage out my legs. My muscles hurt, I don't stretch. Running is quite hard on your muscles. It's not a laid back exercise, it's quite hard. And if you don't stretch out, you don't massage your muscles, your leg muscles, you're gonna hurt yourself. And I've been hurting myself, my muscles hurt. Like, it goes to the point where it's rather difficult to walk because my muscles hurt. Underneath my knee or like my toes, just the general muscle thing. I don't know what the part of the leg is called, just everything just hurts, you know. So I need to massage that out, and I need to look up some stretches that you're supposed to be doing for running, before running, after running, because I'm just hurting myself at this stage. A lot of things to be done today, man. For me, I can't even pick you up because it'd be all blue. Updating my CV is actually hurting my fucking brain. I figured out the most optimal way of doing that. What you do is you look through the job ads available on the platforms that you usually go to find a new job, and you look at the core role responsibilities and all of that stuff. Take that info and repurpose it for your own good, updating it to match your personal experience, you know, making it suit you, and that way it's easier. But I really hate this part. You kind of need to brag a little bit, but you don't at the same time. You literally need to list everything that you've been doing. Not everything, but you know, the most core stuff that will be important in the job hunt, you know. So not everything needs to go, but the most important part, I need to like compress everything. it's not the funnest of exercises. Ooh, it was really sunny just a second ago, now the sun went away, but that does not defy the point that it's getting warmer. It's very nice. It's only what, 3 o'clock and it's still bright, as opposed to it being like total freaking darkness. Look at me, I'm not even wearing a coat or anything, I'm wearing just a hoodie. Finally, the time has come when it's not cold. I'm so glad. It's just gonna get better from here. I'm on my way to the gym right now for another session. I already did the muscle massage. Oh, the thing is so warm. I'm gonna do my usual workout and stuff. I did some measurable progress with updating my CV. I'm quite excited about that. It's not going as badly as I thought it would, to be frank. I think it's a much easier process, especially if I have stuff to say about what I'm doing on a day-to-day. Whereas if you don't have much experience in a certain field, you're trying to come up with things you could say to make it seem like you are good enough for a role. There's quite a few things that I can say and can put down on paper, so that makes this whole process a little bit more easier. In fact, I found one company that I kind of want to apply to work for, but I'm not sure if they have the position that I am looking for. From what I've seen, I think there was just one position for like a bigger role than what I need and what I can do and what I want to do. But the thing with the hiring process is sometimes it's just an ongoing process, and companies may have positions that they haven't started advertising for and they need people anyway, so you just sending your CV over to the companies of your choice is always a good practice. I know that from from this company where I'm working for example, we've needed a person, well, in fact we need 3 people for the last 2 years, but the hiring team wasn't as good at doing their part of the deal. Bottom line is, if you find the company you want to work for, even if they're not advertising roles at the current stage, when you are looking for a role, send your CV anyway. They'll have it on their system, and the next time there's a job opening, they'll just reach out to you if you're good enough. So yeah, I've decided to take a break, go to the gym, do some activities, fuel my body with some positivity that comes from working out, and then and I'll see, maybe I'll just continue working on the CV tomorrow. I have a headache. I've started eating more sweetness, so I'm replacing my sugar intake with sweetness, and my body goes through a sugar withdrawal and it sucks. I feel so lightheaded. My headache is just never ending, and I'm not sure whether it's just the withdrawal of sugar or it's a combination of the withdrawal of sugar and the excess use of sweetness, because I use a lot. Haven't figured out one out yet, but I don't feel good. I just need to roll with it for now and see how it goes. I was looking at the statistics on the fitness app, and I think I've been using it for 3-4 weeks, and sugar, just pure sugar, was the highest calorie in calorie count of all of the food that I'm eating. So I mean, I knew that I ate a lot of sugar. I put a lot of sugar in my coffee, literally. That was my only source of sugar, like in its pure form. I knew that I was eating a lot of sugar, but I didn't know how much exactly that amount was compared to all of the other food types that I was intaking in terms of calories. And having it like on paper in front of me in black and white saying sugar is your highest freaking calorie count food thing, you know, like you are basically gaining weight definitely because of the amount of sugar you're putting in your coffees on a day-to-day. So yeah, that was quite illuminating. So that kind of pushed me to transition to using a little bit more sweetness, and then when I'm using sweetness, the coffee doesn't taste as good, so I'm drinking less coffee. So there's that positive side to this transition as well. That's where I'm at the moment. And an hour and a half later, I'm done with my workout. I'm realizing now they're making me feel so good. Like I feel so accomplished every time I do it. Well, whatever I want to do in the gym. Altogether, I spent quite a bit of time in the gym these days, but it's keeping me grounded. It's keeping me guilt-free. It's keeping me motivated. I feel more energy overall. It is 9 o'clock and I spent the last hour, I think, updating my CV even more, and it's practically done. I'd say, well, 90% of the whole fucking thing done, you know. I've updated stuff that I wrote about like my previous jobs, and it was so weird reading what I wrote before 4 years ago on my CV. Like everything I wrote just didn't sound good. It didn't sound good to me right now as I'm reading. I'm like, whew, how did I get hired with that CV, you know? Oh my god. Anyway, I had to update everything, every fucking thing. The only thing that I need to do now is to write something that I think is the most important thing, apart from the general responsibilities of my job that I've just listed down, you know, but more about my personality, my approach to this job, my approach to doing things, you know, more of me as opposed to a list of things I do in the day-to-day. I'm done for today. I'm done updating that. I'll finish tomorrow, but I kind of found 2 jobs already that I'd like to apply for, and they meet my requirements in terms of yearly salary, and they also meet my requirements with the remote work and a few other things that are very important to me. There's loads of jobs out there. The thing is, I remember how difficult it used to be for me, well, not used to be, how difficult it was for me to find my first office job. It was such a pain, predominantly because I didn't have any experience prior to that. Only a huge interest in this field, and even with that, I remember my experience of going through all of this interviews. It was just so stressful, so scary. I had so many of them and I failed everything. When I finally gave up, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna continue working in a coffee shop for the rest of my life and I don't care, you know. I got this job offer and it went well. Well, I've stayed here for 3.5 years, haven't I? But I definitely didn't have a good time doing all of those interviews. It was terrifying. It was awful. I'm really hoping this time around it won't be like that, but it may well be. Time will tell, and I will try to look. I'm in a better position already because I have experience in this field and I'm applying for the same job that I'm doing already somewhere else, so it shouldn't be that hard. But I'm awful. I'm so bad with the interviews. Even thinking about the fact that I'll have to have them, however many there will be, is terrifying. I'm really bad at presenting myself. I'm good on paper. I can write you a freaking essay. I can write you a book. But when it comes down to verbal communications, I have my days when things are good, when I'm like openly talking about shit and, you know, words are just flowing out. And sometimes I have this mental block where I just can't talk. I can't make a sentence that makes any logical sense or a sentence that sounds right. Especially with English not being my first language, sometimes it's quite difficult, especially when I'm tired. When I'm tired, my words just leave me, you know, I can't talk properly. And in highly stressful situations, same thing happens. But look, it's an experience. Like, how many jobs am I going to get in my life? I think in general, people don't have many jobs during their life. Like I come from a place where people just have one job for life. For example, my mom is a teacher. Well, she changed jobs because we moved from one place to another, but that's it, you know. Had we not moved, she would have worked in the same place. And like my brother, my dad, like everybody I know would just work in one place for very long periods of time. But life in big cities like London in this day and age is very different. I've had a lot of jobs. Those were not career oriented jobs. Those were like getting by jobs, like coffee shop and stuff. And I was a musician, nothing career oriented there. But now that I am climbing the ladder, if you may, this is my second office job. First real one. The other one I don't want to talk about. That was like 5 months of hell with the manager throwing chairs around. Like, the guy was people kept leaving. They would come, work there for months and go. So this is my second job. If I am to get this new job, it will be my third one, and then 4, 5. Okay, I predict I will have 5 more jobs in my lifetime. It just makes sense to me. Because why would you, like, the older you get, the less likely you are to change a job, I think. But you never know. I don't know, maybe in 10 years time I'll look back at it having changed my job like 20 times. Imagine that. Okay, it's not gonna happen, but you know what I mean. I'll definitely be looking back at this moment and I'll remember it. I'll store it somewhere in my memory. That is the very bright memory of me saying I'll have 5 more different jobs, and I need to get this experience of going for interviews, updating my CV, presenting myself and selling myself. I finished updating my CV today and I'm so relieved it's done. I'm like, I think I'm happy with it. I don't think they'll be picking out every single freaking detail on it. I think it's a solid CV. I'm on my way to the gym now and holy shit, spring is coming, you guys. I decided to take a break, go to the gym, and then come back and potentially start applying for various roles. I'll also update my LinkedIn thing. You can update your status for the recruiters only to be able to see that you are on the lookout for a new role. So I've done that. I'm happy to start looking for a new job. Like, I'm ready now. Very excited. I'm also really nervous. As I told you, I'm like so nervous. It's a big change, I think. Coming out of the comfort zone of like working somewhere you just know everything inside out and people, and it's a big change, but I'm very certain it's a change in the right direction and I'm ready for this change. So I'll be taking a step. Well, I'm already taking the first step of actually updating my CV and like looking for a job. It's a big change and it's a change that I'm very accepting of. Things are gonna be good. On the other hand, today is what? I think we're halfway through March. So we only have a few weeks before our PIN arrives, and that will be another huge change in my lifestyle because, well, first off, both my partner and I like to sleep a ton, so having a puppy is definitely going to disrupt that. I think it's going to be a really good transition from, you know, spending a ton of time sleeping to being more active, waking up throughout the night, waking up earlier in the day in general to take care of the puppy. I think it will be a really healthy transition to leading a more active lifestyle and doing more with your day. I am definitely looking forward to that. I'm a little bit nervous. I think it'll be a really turbulent couple of weeks when the puppy arrives, but it's going to be good turbulent, you know. This house here looks so amazing. Sometimes you see a house and you're like, oh wow, this looks fantastic, this is something that I would buy for myself, and that pushes you to do more with yourself. Lastly, I wanted to say I'm very confused. Recently the progress with my weight loss has just gone backward or something. I don't know, it doesn't make sense. I'm in a definite calorie deficit. I've been caloric deficit for the last 4 weeks, I think. I don't know, every day I'm 500-600 deficit in calories, and I kind of expected to be losing more weight, and like I'm not. In fact, I think at times it feels like I'm gaining weight, and I'm not sure whether that's water or what. I guess all I can do is continue doing what I'm doing, and that's all. It's a little bit frustrating at times when you're pushing yourself so much in the gym and then you come home and you weigh yourself like freaking plus a kilo. It fucking sucks, but I think patience is what's required the most here. All I can do is just continue doing what I'm doing. Oh man, I'm hungry. I had to cut my workout in half. I'm like virtually on the brink of like losing my consciousness. Fucking sucks. I usually go after lunch, not after breakfast. So whatever the fucking calorie intake I've had for breakfast is definitely not enough to keep me going, and not great.